Hey hon, I've been thrifting and I just wanted to share some of the things that I have found in the last 24 hours. Um, Even though some places like Goodwill seem to be charging as much as possible for their things now, if you get the half price colors or go to other thrift stores, you can get some pretty good deals soon. So the first thing I got is this. This is a ceramic, I guess. It's got this little nautical theme. It's a tissue box cover thing. Um, and my bathroom is all in blues and grays and browns and sort of beachy themes, so that'll be perfect in there. And then I've really been using plastic plates a lot. Between me and Stella running around here, we just knock things over a lot. And I think they're great, especially if you have some Gen X connection. So this one is newer, I'm sure, but here's a Coca-Cola plate. Does anybody remember Coke watches? I have to figure out where mine is. I had the one with the lime in the middle. And then this is another nostalgia plate here, that Honey Nut Cheerios. Isn't that great? Love it. I also really do love flamingos. So there's two of these that say Flamingo Beach. And I mean, I probably wouldn't have picked them out and purchased them as they were, except that they were 25 cents each. But I was able to find two of these smaller plates and then three of these smaller plates with flamingos on them. So that's kind of neat. And then just one, that's a Christmas bulb, I suppose. I'm not really a holiday fan, but you know, it's fun. And again, not being a holiday fan, I am a shark fan. And I got this little kit. You paint a pumpkin blue. This may end up in the prize box at work. I didn't pay that much for it. It was on sale today. I also, as I've tried to grow up a little bit, have appreciated the value of pyrex, and I found this pretty large bowl. Fortunate that there's a Corral Corningware store not too far away, and I can take it in and get a replacement lid, and then that'll be great for storing things, since if I cook, it's usually just for myself, so there's leftovers. And that way, can freeze it, can heat it, whatever. Love Pyrex. Love old Pyrex. Love that I can just go and spend a dollar or two and get a lid that fits old Pyrex, and it's just great. I also got some little note cards. Note cards are so expensive anymore. But I got these for $1, and it's a brand new unopened pack. And I sometimes write my students little notes, so that's kind of a cool thing. Just some little patches. What I'm probably going to do is put some sort of design in beads or thread on here before I attach them to a battle jacket or backpack or something like that. A couple of knives. I have really broken and limited, very cheap forks and spoons and everything, and I just really liked how these had this, try and get it to focus, this little like star pattern, so I can only find two though. And then a bag of shredded money. Now I go to a local venue, and on Tuesday nights they have adult creative open gym. And there's all kind of art supplies, and people make collages and paint and just talk or play music, read poetry, whatever. And it's a lot of fun. And I'm, again, really fortunate to live where I do, where that's an option. But I thought that this would be kind of an interesting thing to add into the mix of art supplies there, to have this shredded money. I may take some and make some hair clips with it. We'll see. And then just a little basket. Again, it was $0.25. And I think it'll be good to hold my indoor gardening supplies. As I get ready to start seeds here in Illinois, you have to start everything inside because you just can't trust the weather, even if it's been nice for a while. We've been very mild this winter, which I'm not complaining about, but it does make me a little bit nervous that something will come later that will be less fun. And then I love lights. I love stars. This is not from Goodwill. It's from somewhere else. They got it for $1 because it was on sale. So a little unicorn that lights up. I have a couple of light up stars behind me on that star wall, and also a flamingo. So the unicorn will just fit in as a little friend of the situation there. And a couple more plastic things. I got these little trays. These were 50 cents for 2 of them. And they have all the little spots for your utensils and your drink and whatever. The only thing about trays like this is, as a left-handed person, it's backwards. I want my fork on this side and my drink over here. But it's like the burden of every left-handed person living in the country that we have to bear to live in a right-handed world. Let's see. I also got a couple little jewelry pieces that they wrapped up and made look like dog poop here. But I got this little pin, and again, it has a price tag on it. That is not what I paid, because at this shop, one color was 75% off, so I got it for $1. And, whoops, and it's a cool little pin. Kind of has that, like, it has some flowers and things on it, but it has this little wavy edge up here, and the rest is kind of square. And it's not a good rectangle, not a perfect rectangle. This side is longer, a little bit slanty here, so I just thought that was kind of cool. And the other thing, I haven't quite figured it out, but it's 2 birds. Put it here, right there we go, sorry. 2 birds. Focus. That's maybe better. You can see the heads and the wings and stuff. And I think a type of tie clip, could be a money clip. It looks like someone has gone and kind of bent the back of it. If anybody knows what it was originally for, feel free to make a comment. Then I did find another newer but plastic Coca-Cola plate. Love Coca-Cola stuff. I'm a Diet Coke drinker now, but you know. So, and then I got a ton of books. I like to have books around for the kids in my life, many of whom are my students, and I like to have a big assortment, and I like to have enough that I got at a good price so that if a kid needs a book, they can take it, and if they read one or it just gets messed up because so many people have read it, that way, no big deal. So I got a bunch of books yesterday. I got this Black Panther graphic novel. I think a lot of kids will like that. A lot of my music students. This one's more for myself. I know it's several years old now, but it's Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. So I'll give that a read. If anybody's read it, let me know what you think. Because I know there's others in the series, but I have a pretty intense fear of tentacles, and I'm a little nervous about that part. Also, these are very popular in my studio waiting room, the I Survived books, so I was able to find the bombing of Pearl Harbor. The only other one I currently have is the Battle of Gettysburg, so now I can add that out there. Then there's this pretty, I think, great series that are like, it's called Who HQ. And I have some titles, and there's a bunch on my wish list if anybody ever wants to check that out. It's not just all music stuff for my baby rock stars, but also books for while I wait. So I was able to get What Were the Twin Towers? Where Are the Great Pyramids? And Who is Barack Obama? And where has he gone, and can we get somebody with more sense like him back in office? That's all the politics that I'll talk about. So I was really happy to find some of those. I got a little golden book of Brave. as someone that's half Scottish and has never really been a girly girl, I very much, Merida is my favorite Disney princess. If I have to choose one, that's not something that I ever did before I taught so many kids who asked. So there she is. Are You My Mother? A lot of the Dr. Seuss books and titles, whether or not they're by him, this is the Eastman one, are being banned for really, really ridiculous reasons. And I think they're classics and kids like them. So whenever I see them affordably in a thrift shop in good condition, I'll pick them up for, a quarter or whatever they cost and get them in English and then in Spanish as well, and occasionally Polish if I can find them. Because those are the three main languages of our students at Maywood Fine Arts. And then my uncle sent a new copy of this for the waiting room, and people are loving it. I really liked it. Pretty self-explanatory, the title. It is a graphic novel. But I have a 7th grader who came in really upset, 7th grade boy, because his mother has decided he's going to change schools for 8th grade, and he has had friends since kindergarten in his class. And so I'm going to give this second copy specifically to that kid, as I know he loves reading graphic novels, and hopefully this will help him at least understand that everybody feels incredibly awkward in middle school. I wouldn't go back in a second if somebody asked me to. But, I think it'll be very relatable for him. And then the big news this past week was about how all the doll books, because somehow somebody decided that it was a good idea to sell all their rights to Netflix. The man maybe wasn't a nice guy, but he wrote some great books and some classic books, and now people are changing the words in them. And so since I saw several titles, I picked them up to put them out there. I'm a big fan of getting banned books and leaving them available for my students. And so we have Danny, the Champion of the World. So that's the first one. There's 4. The Twits, sort of a super fantastic looking person there. This one on the back says, suddenly a sort of flash comes out of me, a quick flash, like something electric. And this is called The Magic Finger, which I'm guessing is very different. I'm not familiar with this book, but very different than the magic finger that I use so often, especially when I'm driving. And then Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. So it's the same Charlie from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which so many people are familiar with. So these were the 4 I found yesterday. So they were the 4 I bought. And most of them are about 24 cents each, which is awesome. If you have a favorite banned book, especially if it's a children's book, let me know. I'm always looking for new titles to include, and if you have some laying around, send me a message and I'll get you some address links. But that's it for... Oh, I'm sorry, there's one more book here. This is another graphic novel, and it's hardcover, which is nice, and it's about the Alamo All-Stars. I'll admit, growing up on the East Coast and now living in the Chicago area, I don't know very much about the Alamo at all. Sadly, most of my knowledge comes from watching King of the Hill. But that was 95 cents. It wasn't an on sale color, but it's a hardcover, looks like it's never been used, comic book, or graphic novel. That'll be great. And obviously, hardcover books survive a little bit better when they're getting manhandled by 40 or 50 kids a week. So that's it for now. I hope the rest of your weekend is great, or whatever day it is that you're watching this. Shop smart. You can still have all the things that you may think you need or want. And let's go O's. Baseball season's almost here. Bye-bye.